To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, read the roll.
Councilman DeMichio.
Present.
Councilwoman McEachern. Here. Mayor Warfield.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Phillips.
Show him excused for vacation.
Thank you. Councilman Dickerson.
Here.
Councilman Haydes.
Here.
Councilwoman Dobrowski. Here. First item on the agenda is approval of city council minutes for the special meeting of December 20th.
So moved for approval. Moved. Supported. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
For the regular meeting of December 20th. So move approval.
Support. Moved and supported. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Comments from persons in the audience on matters not covered by the council agenda? Yes, sir.
I'd just like to express my displeasure if you people didn't follow, or at least adhere to what was voted on by people a year and a half ago for council people. The fifth place person, I think, should have gotten a seat. That's my opinion, and I'm expressing it.
Hey, Joe, appreciate that. Any other comments from people in the audience? Not covered, matters not covered by the council agenda.
My name is Kathy Rockwell, and I also sat through these interviews, and all but one person on this board, Mr. Dickerson and Pam, our newly elected official, I've supported each and every one of you. The comments that I'm making tonight do not refer to Donna or to Mr. DeMichio. I had come here with a kind of a biased mind thinking that either Darnell Cotham or Mrs. Poser should really be considered for the appointment, since they did take the time to run a campaign, get out and vote, have support from the community. I really thought that one of those two should have gotten it. Then I sat here and I listened to the interviews. I thought, oh gee, the gentleman from the bank was real interesting. I thought all of them really have some interesting points and have a lot of good qualifications. Then it came to Mrs. Rowe. And she'd been on the city council in Madison Heights, had a lot of the same experiences that you people have gone through, been on some of the same boards and things. And I thought, gee, this lady really sounds like she would be the most qualified, in my opinion, to help you people at least for 8 or 9 months so the citizens could go out and select somebody. And then went down and Mr. DeMichio asked that you take consideration to at least have Darnell and Bernice Millar come in at another time. This was opposed. And I had heard before I came here that there was already 4 votes for Pam. This is nothing to reflect on you personally, Pam. We're friends and I've known her for a long time. That it was come from a pretty good source, that she already had 4 votes in the bag. It was just a matter of just having to go through the procedure of interviewing. And sitting here through that session that night, I seen this. And I have supported Ken, supported Al, Mr. Phillips. Mr. Phillips praised Mrs. Rojo, what a wonderful person she was, and then he turned right around and didn't vote for it. And I'm just wondering if anybody and everybody joins the Democratic Club or supported by the Democratic Club is supposed to be on this council. These 2 people here are the only 2 people that I don't know of. And I think when I voted for Ken, I voted for Al. Mr. Dickerson, I didn't know you at that time, so I did not vote for you. Donna and them, I voted for you when I did because I thought you were individuals, which you have proven to me you've been. But I voted for these other people, and everybody said, no, we're tired of having a clique on the council. Mr. Norton's been here a long time, Lida's been here a long time. Let's get some new people in. We get new people in, what do we get? A 4 or 5 to 2 vote all the time. And I want to ask this council, Al, Warfield, Mr. Dickerson, because I know how the other 2 people feel, isn't this supposed to be a nonpartisan council? Our governor come to town, a man that we should respect, whether he's Republican, Democrat, black or white, orange or whatever color. He holds a high office. No matter if he's a Democrat or Republican, I would expect this council to show respect to whoever comes to this country. When Tom Kelly comes in as a state representative now, so we're going to run out to him. Are we going to be so eager to run out and meet Mr. Bennett because he's a Republican?
We've already met with Mr. Bennett.
I
Matter of
have
fact,
ever voted.
we've already met with Mr. Bennett.
Yes, you may be betting, but are you going to be as kind to him? Or are we going to do
I
like
had
what we did to the
an
governor?
excellent talk with him. He's going to represent this community for
I
4
hope
years.
he does, he should,
And he will.
because he was voted in.
That's correct.
But, you know, I really felt that this council that I supported, the people that I did support on this council, were open-minded enough. You know, the way you handled it was just like Mr. Dickerson's, I support Pam, a second, no discussion or anything. And it was cut and dry, just like somebody said, and I didn't feel that my council supported the people of this community like that. And I would hope, there's an election coming up, and a few of you got surprised when Republican took the few office. And this is the first year I ever voted Republican, straight ticket, because I'm a person.
I mean, you wasn't alone apparently this year.
Pardon me?
You wasn't alone doing that this
No,
year.
I sure wasn't. And you're going to find that the people that are sitting on this council now will not stand behind what their representative when they ran may not be here next year. Pam, Sheila wanted to ask, I was in the audience when Mr. Warfield first became mayor. You said you were interested in having the communications of the Cablevision, you know, I can't think of her name, Miss Polkek, possibly the citizens or the students working with her to get credit for it as well as helping the city. Is this still one of your goals?
Yes,
Okay.
I'd like to see that happen.
Okay. I'd just like to say thank you, and the people I did support, and hear a lot of very things about you. The four people that I mentioned. Mr. Phillips, I don't like to criticize, he's not here to hear it. So I would
He can
really
watch the
think,
video. You'll watch it.
good, I really would hope that you people would remember, when you asked for a vote, you were independent, individual people. Whether you're Democrat or Republican, that's up to you, but when you sit on this council, I expect you four people to represent me as an independent person, not a Democrat or Republican. Thank you.
Just a short punctuation to that. I sat here and I took notes on everybody that came up, not to get you Pamela and Patricia there, but I took notes on everybody that came up there, and I was having a hard time. And I can't possibly see, if everybody took the notes and put a little star by each one and added them up, that none of us, you know, with an exception, might pick the same person. So it just looked bad that you didn't go in, have a discussion on it, go over these people, and then come back out. It just seemed too cut and dry, just too blank, like it was already made. That's all. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Mr. Councilman.
When I decided to run for city council, my personal interest was what's the best for the city of Wayne. I wasn't trying to be on the city council to please one side or one party. And I still vote and exercise my power in this job for the interest of this city. And my vote at that time was based on what's good for the city of Wayne. It wasn't based on Democrat or Republican. And if the people decide to choose differently, we have election coming up this coming year. But the decision was based on the qualification, and I did make a statement said too many equally qualified candidates. But eventually there's some sour grape in the city. Some people really, no matter who you choose out of the 9, the other 8 going to be upset. So there was no way of pleasing everybody. So therefore, Mr. Mayor, I do always vote my conscience and vote what's good for this city. If I could please everybody that way, it's fine. If not, it's my position.
I realize, Mr. Hayes, that you cannot please everybody, and I don't expect you to.
Yeah.
The only thing that bothered me was, I've known Pam for a long time. If she's the one that was to be chosen, fine, but it seems like every bit of little hearsay you hear out in the community, you don't have to come to the council to listen to the vote because you already know the
If
vote.
we choose another one, the other party gonna have the same complaint. There are other 8 candidates.
Well, you got BS degrees and master's degrees and 3.5 years on a console and so on and so forth in that type of office.
See-
In other words, that type of setting, that type of background. And that's the only thing we're saying.
Yeah, see, the problem, every person see the issue and the question from different corner. You see the qualifications of the candidate from your side different than I see it from my side. So if I make a decision and some people want to use that decision for negative in the city and try to use it for different reasons, I'm not going to really sit down and say, well, I'm not going to answer. I do really have answer for it, and I do believe I did my best for the interest of this city.
I just had one little comment. When Mr. Demetrio and Donna had asked that to table it, Darnell didn't ask to get hit in the head and she's been going through some pretty hard tests. And you did read, the mayor did read Mrs. Millar's cover letter why she wasn't here, and he also read her resume. Then when it comes to Darnell, he read her letter saying that why she wasn't here, but if I wanted to see her resume, I could have picked it up. To me, that's not fair.
Well, the problem too, you're sitting here to make a decision for the city and take care of the city's businesses. It's your job to take care of the business in time, not to drag it. We have 30 days, we have to appoint a person to that position, and we advertise that in a newspaper by all means the city have, and that time was made to make a decision. It was not something to deny somebody the right to be here or not to be here, but it's the time we made to take care of the city's businesses.
For your information, Mrs. Rockwell, Dale, and Kathy, on my over 3 years on this council, I have never made one decision that was partisan. That's in my mind. Now, what it appears to be from an audience, from somebody else's perspective, I can't help. I made the best decision for this community, like all the people at this board. Donna and Al made the decision that they thought. And that's the way we operate.
And another thing,
The other thing, basic thing we're saying is that with the qualifications of all the candidates, you had 9 great candidates there and stuff like that, that there wasn't, at least a little discussion going on or going to the back or something and talking about it. In other words, the first person that comes up, bang, seconded, bang, voted in. In other words, basically what we're saying is it looked bad. You watch the video, it looks real bad. It looks like it,
I don't know why you see it look bad. I mean, like you're telling me the candidate we choose it's not qualified or she doesn't have the right to say the other.
You had 9.
I mean, we choose one out of the 9 usually. I mean, it just, I see it fit and qualify. And I think by you complaining too much against this, you denying that person the right of same as the other.
No, I'm saying the only thing I'm saying is the way I look at it. I said
Formality.
I'm saying formality. The 9 candidates, I agree, they were all good. And if you had to sit down and say, okay, this one did this, this, and this, and over here they're doing this, 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 and this down here like that, to me, this one's been a little bit more qualified than this one over here. And you could back up when one, you got a BS degree and a master's degree and is already on the school board. I mean,
You can do that with each candidate. You could take each candidate and nitpick and make another candidate look better than the other. They were all qualified candidates, but some of them had negatives, others had negatives.
And basically, the only thing I'm saying is I think you all go in the back room and sit down there and hash it out, come out and make a vote.
I think the reason we didn't do that, Dale, we knew all the candidates. This council knew all the candidates, knew their background. We've seen their resumes, but we knew them personally. All of us knew them. So we had full knowledge of what we were doing. And I think it's going to prove that we made the right decision, as you see her acting.
I'm not saying
One
that.
final note too. I heard too many complain about the governor visit the city of Wayne and was no representative in the city of Wayne to see the governor. I personally didn't receive any invitation or somebody mentioned to me the governor is going to be in the city of Wayne, please be there and greet him. I don't know if the city manager received any invitation or...
That was in the, I believe it was in the newspaper.
I didn't receive any
That was like on a Monday or
official
Tuesday.
invitation to be there.
We filed papers on Tuesday, and they came out to the Republican headquarters there on Tuesday when he got here, but he was in Inkster and just came out.
But that's the reason if somebody called or said the governor gonna be here.
I
we need to
thought that was a
present it.
duty to see about the 18 cities that got money from the state. Wayne wasn't one of them.
For what?
I didn't bring the thing with me, Ken, but I'll get a copy of it to you.
If there wasn't money given here,
It was from the
and we
county.
were qualified to get it, we'll be up there beating on this
Yeah,
damn
well,
door.
I was just gonna call you and ask you about it like that, maybe you know.
I think that's this guy's job to make sure we get every money
Yeah.
that we're due in any grants. And if we don't, we'll be up there banging on the doors.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move the agenda.
Item 2, appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. Appointment of Cindy Stewart, 4355 Woodward Street, to the Festival Commission to fill the unexpired term.
That there should be a statement. You will hire from this town, that the people from this town will have a little bit of a preference. And that should be very simple to do. City Hall right here, somebody wants a job of boards, and they're opening this up, fine. That's all they have to do is come in, show their ID, show a little voter's registration card, sign the list. I should think that our young people here in this town should have preference over Plymouth, Northville, Westland, Detroit, Dearborn. They're spending their money here. They want to live here, but they can't because they can't get the jobs. And I think it's up to you people to do something about this.
I appreciate that. We had that concern also. Last month, Councilman Haddis and I have met with people at Ford's and expressed what you've expressed this evening. So we have had discussions already with them on this matter. And it's still up for discussion for Mr. Phillips.
Be real clear about this, that Ford has not hired 900 people.
Well, I understand the other guys that they're in
Let me finish.
Oh, well.
That this council agrees with everything that you're saying. This council will act on those in appropriate fashion. But to leave the impression that there are 900 people that have been hired at Ford Motor Company and Wayne has been left out in the cold is not correct. Those people have not been hired yet.
Oh, they have?
And before those people are hired, before any tax abatement comes to this body here, there will be serious negotiations between Ford Motor Company and this group here. So come back in 3 months or 4 months
Oh, I will.
and make sure that you see what.
I will, because I'll tell you what, they were hiring for these 900 positions a year ago.
They had some temporary positions they were filling, yes.
Well, you know where the temps come from? I do. I went over and checked.
Michigan Public
Canton,
Security Commission.
Westland, Garden City, Dearborn,
Wayne.
Detroit, very few from Wayne.
There's
50 if you want to go to record. That ain't right.
That's why I said, we recognize that, we've had
Right.
discussions with them already.
I've been just expressing my opinion. I mean,
We appreciate it.
I've been working up in Flint's the first night I've been able to get down here. And I just think, I'm glad Ford's out there. I'm glad we've got Fords here in the city. In fact, I'd like to be able to